Hello friends, welcome back to Laravel tutorial. So in this video we are going to discuss about what are the new features in Laravel 11. So Laravel 11 already released and we need to know what are the new things. Okay, so basically we'll compare from the previous versions. So we will see from the Laravel 10 and we'll compare with the Laravel 11. Okay, so we can understand what are the basic things. So first things, so in Laravel 10 we need PHP version as 8.1, but in Laravel 11 we need PHP 8.2. So the first thing is we need to upgrade our PHP version to use Laravel 11. Okay, so this is the basic things. Next is the folder structure. So there are some changes in the folder structure we'll discuss in this video, and Laravel Reverb and health routing, once function, new Artisan Command, and many more things. So we'll discuss about all those things, right? So I already installed Laravel 10 and Laravel 11. So if you compare the folder structure, so here you can see is the L10, there's the Laravel 10, and this is the L11, there's Laravel 11. Okay, so if you compare the folder structure, we can see some new things are added, or some features or some files or some folders are removed from Laravel 11. So first check from very beginning. So in the app folder, if you look at the app folder, so if you check the previous version, this is the Laravel 10. So you can see in the app folder there are console, exceptions, HTTP models, providers. So there are 5 folders. Okay, and if you check the Laravel 11, there is the latest. So you can see the only HTTP model and provider. Okay, so we don't have exception folder and we don't have provider folder. Okay, so why it's not there, and if you want to use these, how you can use this, so we'll discuss. Okay, so the next folder is the bootstrap. If you check the bootstrap folder, you can see there is the cache, app, and providers.php. So this is the new. If you check from the previous version, there is no providers.php. So here actually providers.php present, and there is no provider folder here, as there is in Laravel 10 there is a separate providers folder. Okay, so basically to make it Laravel 11 more lighter and faster, they reduces some files as and folders, and plan to use that. If you need, you can install it additionally, or if you want. But if you want to just download Laravel 11 from scratch by default, you will not get all those things. Like if you check in the router section, so there's major things updated. If you check the routes folder, so only web and console.php. So if you think, so if I want to use API, yes, you can use the API.php. So if you check the Laravel 10, so there are 4 routes. Okay, API, channel, console, web, and there is 2 routes in Laravel 11. So if you want to use the API or the channels, you can install separately. So every time we don't need API or channels, that's the reason Laravel by default it's not provided. Okay, so in the same way, if you check in the HTTP section, app HTTP, there are controller, middleware, and the kernel folder. Okay, and in the latest version in the Laravel 11, so if you check in the HTTP section, there is no middleware, only there is a controller folder, and inside this there are controller.php. Okay, so if you click on the controller.php, you can see this became the abstract class controller. But in the previous version, we are getting the middleware, and we have the kernel.php, so that we can register the middleware related things, or routing the middleware groups and middleware aliases. But we don't have option like this. If you want to add, you can add manually. Okay, and if you check the default controller, you will get the controller.php. Actually, we are using the base controller in the previous section, but here this class became abstract class. So interesting. Okay, so we will discuss about each thing, and we will create a separate tutorial for that things, and we will step by step going to discuss about all the things and will be more clear, but overall what the changes I will discuss. Okay, and another things, if you check the app and the provider section, so there are lots of provider. There is 1 2 3 4 5 providers, but here if you check only the one provider, okay, so only the app service provider. So there is also changes in the section. So there is app service provider and all the things is the same like the previous version, but others are missing. Means if you want this provider, you can install that, right? So these are the basic things. And if you check another important thing, so if you just go into the database connection part, so if you just go to the environment section, so from there you can install or connect your database. So by default you can see the database connection is SQLite. Okay, in the previous version by default there was MySQL, but now from the Laravel 11 it's planned to use SQLite. And if you check our config section, there is a database configuration, so you can see the default version is, that is SQLite. Okay, so SQLite, and if you check by default version is SQLite. If you want to change from MySQL, if you simply change this version from MySQL, and if you use your connection as you using previously. Okay, so simple, no problem on that, right? And if you check the migration part, if you want to check from the migration section from the database folder, if you check, so there are the migrations, factories, seeders, so all are there in the Laravel 11 also. So but here you will get the migration is different. Means here you can see the create user table, create cache table, and create jobs table, and here the migration are the defined things. Okay, so some things you need to learn to use the Laravel 11. So the major changes came when Laravel updated into the Laravel 8, and this is the major updation from Laravel 10 to Laravel 11. So you need to think, you need to study some things to use these all the features properly. Okay, now if you want to use the api.php, or if I want to use API, how can I do this? So simply we have an option to install it. So just like simply just go to the terminal section and just use in this way. So simply just write php artisan install and API. Okay, so let's enter this. So here actually it will install the API and all the related things which we need. Okay, so you can check the composer.json has been updated. So if you just check composer.json, so you can see some things are updated here. So let's go and let's complete that things. So you can see api.php installing, and these are the things is adding in the Laravel. And now you can check. So one new database migration has been published. Would you like to run all pending database migration? Yes. So it will run all the pending database migrations, and you can check. So these are the added. So if you check from the beginning, so if you check, so Laravel Sanctum is installed, and if you go to the route section, you will get the api.php, and already it's using the authentication Sanctum. And just go to the config section, you will get the sanctum.php. Okay, so that means in Laravel 11 all you will get like Laravel 10, but you need to install separately if you want. The basic things are provided. So that is the reason why Laravel 11 is claimed as more faster and lightweight. Okay, so you can understand. So these are the more important features of Laravel. So if you check other things in database section also, So just go into the database, and you can see the new migration is added also. Okay, so these are the things added. So these are the basic folder structure of Laravel 11. So the next new features is Laravel Reverb. Actually, what is the Laravel Reverb? So Laravel Reverb brings the blazing fast and scalable real-time WebSocket communication directly to your Laravel application and provides seamless integration with Laravel's existing suite of event broadcasting tools such as Laravel Echo. Okay, so to use it, you can install this. So I will create a separate video to use how to use this and what are the features. And mainly it needs when you want to create any real-time application or any chat application, so that things is needed. Okay, another things is Laravel healthy routing. Okay, so what is the healthy routing? So if you just go to the directory, so Laravel 11 directory, so just go to the broadcast app.php. So you can see this is the health app. Okay, so actually in new Laravel 11 application, inside a health routing directories, which instructs Laravel to define a simple health check endpoint that may be invoked by third-party application health monitoring system. Okay, so how to check this? So this actually running. So if you check, our application is running. So these are the running. So now if you just use the app, okay, so let's see how the health checkup. So just click here and you can see the application is up, HTTP request is received and response successfully rendered in 496 millisecond. Okay, so these are the features to check from outside. So our Laravel application or routing, these are actually perfectly working or not. You can set for your each route also, no problem on that. Okay, so the next thing is once function. This is the important things. This is the another thing. So if you check here, so once function is returning the once. That means this one helper function executes the given callback cache the result in memory for the duration of request. Okay, so any subsequent calls to the one functions with the same callback will return the previously cached result, which actually become more faster response. Okay, suppose you have a function which needs to call multiple time with the same parameter or the same requirement. That time it will not execute the whole function directly. So it will not execute the whole function. Actually it will response from the previous. So here in the example you can see, so I have a function random and it's returning once function. Okay, so first time when we click on the random, its output is 1 2 3. Okay, so anything from random 1 to 1000. Okay, so if you call the same random function again, so we are getting the 1 2 3. That means actually it's not executing the random functions again, so it are getting output from the cache section. Okay, so in the cache section these are stored, so that's the reason it will become the more faster response. We will get the most faster response. Okay, so let's see the next things. So next thing is new artisan command. So in Laravel we'll get some new artisan command to make a class, to make an enum, to make an interface, or to make a trait. So simply these are the new command Laravel introduces. So if you just want to create a class, so simply just go to the Visual Studio Code and let's create a class. So PHP artisan make class. So if you want to use this, so I have not provided the class name. So what should be the class name? Suppose my class name is suppose student. Okay, so just enter this, so it will create the class into the app. Okay, so these are created. So if you just go inside app, you will get the student class is created. Okay, so in this way, if you want to create an enum interface trait, you can click on that and you can create. Okay, so these are the features. and I will create a separate video for that, and what is the benefit of that things, and how actually how properly it should be used, I will show you. Okay, so next thing is the inspecting database and improved schema operation. So what is actually this? Actually, this additional database schema operation and inspection method, including the native modification, renaming, or and dropping of the columns. Okay, so you can see the get tables, get views, or if you want to get any columns, that is the suppose users get columns. Okay, so it will so it will see the column name from the users, or if you want to check what are the indexes we defined in the user table, so we can use the get indexes, or if you want to check the foreign keys, so in this way we can use it. So this is the additional features. Sometimes it may need because there are lots of table may have in our application. Sometimes developer, if you want to check, then they can check by this. Okay, so this is the another features. And the next thing is per second rate limiting. So these are the one of the important things. Actually, previously we can limit up to minute, but now we can limit per second also. Okay, so Laravel now supports per second rate limiting for all the rate limiters, including those for HTTP request or any queue job. Okay, so these are the new things Laravel introduces. And the next thing is you can see the prompt validation. So these are the small features. Actually, these features is important, and you can install a separate plugin for that thing. So basically, what the purpose of that things? So to beautify Laravel validation and to make it more user friendly. So these are the large things. I need to create a separate video, but I need to know that things are new in Laravel 11. Okay, and another things or some new things are acute interaction testing, model cast improvements, improved performance when testing within memory databases, automatic password rehashing, or improved support for MariaDB. So these are some additional features. So these are the overview of what the new things or new features appear in Laravel 11, and we'll discuss some things from here. Those are largely used for our application, and some points I already said which I will discuss later. I will discuss. Okay, so I'll create a separate video for that. So hope you can understand, or you will get some basic idea of that things. And still, if you have any queries, or if you have any questions, or if you want any things need to know, you can comment me. And please subscribe this channel for upcoming video. Thanks for watching this video. Have a good day.